Hello. Hello. I've been able to hear you this entire time. Cool. Yeah. Like, why wouldn't you download Streets of Rage meets Yakuza? I'm good with whatever. Yeah. Yeah. I am indeed able to watch it. Yeah, they brought forward the racing start time by half an hour. Yeah, it takes a lot. Like, it takes a ridiculous amount for them to like have the race cancelled due to weather. Like, it's basically got to be like torrential downpour. It'll just be straight up cancelled. And yeah, like normally this is Bathurst signifies the start of like the final stretch of the whole season. This year, it's literally the final race as well. Is that is that what I should be opening? Yes. Yeah, let's just make Keith decide. Um, yes. There's very likely I'm going to be doing some work. It's only like a short term thing, but at the Awanui Arangi, which is kind of basically like something similar to a community college. I'll be doing like a brief stint there for a few weeks. Yeah, exactly. Like that's the biggest thing. And the other thing is like two of the people in the department are looking to leave. So if they leave, they might just be like, "Hey, look, you just want to fill the spot. We've already got you here for a little bit, so you know." Yeah, no, this opportunity has come because um, my aunt, the one I'm currently house sitting for, already works there. Like she's their main receptionist, and like before being the main receptionist, uh, uh, she used to work. She's been there for quite a few years. At one stage, yeah, she was. She worked in the IT department, so she's good friends with like the boss in charge. So once again, it's all about who you know, not what you know. Yeah. Damn it, Josh. You've literally already claimed it by the time it pops up for me. I don't even know what you do with these items. Okay. Welcome back.
Keith at 12? Dang. How's your Hades going?
Good. I finally got a second Claire. It took me way too long, but I finally got there.
Nice.
Turns out, if you just punch Hades in the face a bunch.
I've been watching Dan play, though without sound, so we don't know what it sounds like, but it looks neat. And Dan
It's very
dies a
good.
lot, so.
Yeah.
It does seem very dependent on what buffs you get, or whatever they're called. Boons? Is that what they're called?
Boons. I mean, there is a item. There's a set of keepsakes that are basically like ensure that your first boon is from this god.
So if you like those ones, you can go that way.
Yeah, and like, I've gotten like the ability now to re-roll like room, like the things on the doors that show you what's in the next room. I've gotten the ability to like re-roll those now, like limited amount, but
That's cool.
yeah, it is a very the art style is very super giant,
But yeah, it's a lot like.
and it's great.
Because I played through
And
Transistor, and it's
yeah.
very similar in style.
Yeah, I think it's probably closest to Bastion gameplay wise.
I haven't played that one.
Yeah, now it's pretty good. But yeah, like I like the writing as well. Like having a good like story on a roguelike that like the mechanics of the game are built into the story is nice.
Yeah.
You can also date people in that game because they added a dating element.
Nice.
Because of course they did.
Well, why not? It's probably the part Jenny likes the best.
Yeah. Me telling her one of the characters is specifically dateable might have been the reason she bought the game.
Nice. Interested to see how they do with this Alice Reactor Rogue co-op thing.
Yeah.
Could be good. Could suck.
It'll be interesting. I would like to know more.
Well, hopefully they stick with it. And, I mean, they'll probably have a Kickstarter, and Keith will throw money at him. Maybe I will.
If they have a Kickstarter, I would lose all interest.
Oh yeah.
Like they are backed by a
has
significant
of,
publisher.
Yeah, they are. That's
Yeah.
true. I forgot. A lot of people do Kickstarters anyway. You're like, God damn it. I forget that they're. I don't remember the name of the company, but I forgot that it was a big one.
Gamingo.
That's right. Well, they said they're getting close to early access already. I was like, what?
Yeah. For what it's worth, I have also opened both Tabletop Simulator and League of Legends.
Mm-hmm. I don't really have any two-player games in tabletop.
Whoops. Misclicked.
You're back. I'm back.
To a player and take a card from that player. You can exchange even if the other player doesn't have any cards. To recycle is to put a card at the bottom of its epoch deck. When you score a card, you put it face down on the influence side of your board. To splay a stack is to spread out your cards in a certain direction so that the icons on one edge show up and count towards your dogma totals. Certain splay directions are more valuable than others. If you're told to splay your stack left or right, you're going to reveal 1 or 2 icons on each card beneath the active card in the stack that you splay. But if you get to splay up, you'll reveal up to 3 icons on each card. If you play a card to a splayed stack, the added card gets splayed. And this is Innovation, an engine-building card game for 2 to 4 players. Let me show you how to play. You and your friends play leaders of rival civilizations who are racing to develop ever more advanced technology to edge each other out of the history books. The central pool of cards represents 10 different epochs in your civilization's development. At first, you'll be building a tableau of rudimentary tech like pottery and archery. But as you grow, you'll develop satellites and software. The cards let you enact dogmas that force your opponents to do different things as long as your tableau has the majority number of icons showing. And certain cards let you splay your tech in different directions to reveal more icons, which helps you push your opponents around. The game ends when one player dominates a certain number of time periods or domains, or when someone has to draw a card higher than the 10th epoch, or when the dogma on a certain late-stage card tells you the game ends. If the game ends with no immediate victor, or because you've run out of epochs, you tally up the influence points you've collected to see who's won. The cards are laid out in a circle around the table, with one card from eras 1 through 9 stacked in the center. The 5 domain cards go nearby. Everyone starts with 2 cards from the first era. You put one into play in front of you, and keep the other one in your hand. On your turn, you get to take 2 actions from this suite of available moves: draw, play, dominate, or activate. Your 2 actions can be different, or you can do the same thing twice. Let's take a look at what each one does. When you take the play action, you play a card from your hand into your zone, which is the game's word for your tableau. The cards come in 5 different colors: blue, red, green, purple, and yellow. You can only have one top card in any given color, so if you have a yellow card in your zone and you want to play another yellow card, it goes on top of the first one. If the card is a different color, it goes in its own stack. So later in the game, you'll have at most 5 stacks of cards. The card on the top of each stack is called the active card. When you take the draw action, you pull a card from one of the epoch piles into your hand. You get to draw from the pile that matches the highest numbered active card in your zone. So if that's a 1, you draw from epoch 1. If one of your active cards was a 3, well, you draw from epoch 3. If you have an empty zone, you draw from epoch 1. If you need to draw a card from a pile and that pile is empty, you draw from the next available pile. So if your highest active card is 1, but epoch 1 and epoch 2 are both empty, you draw your card from epoch 3. When you take the activate action, you choose one of your active cards and do the stuff on it. The stuff is called a dogma, and dogmas come in 2 flavors: supremacy, which has a square with a single white arrow, and cooperative, which has a square with 4 white arrows. Supremacy dogmas only help you, while multiple players can benefit when you activate a cooperative dogma.
Begin. I'm back again, sorry.
There are 6 different icons in the game: castles, crowns, clocks, wangs, broccolis, and military haircuts. When you fire off a supremacy dogma, you look at the icon inside the box. The dogma affects all players who have a lower number of those icons showing in their zones than you do. So this supremacy dogma on the archery card says, "I demand you draw a 1. Then transfer the highest card from your hand to my hand." And you have to use that voice, otherwise you immediately lose the game. Now, this dogma is only going to work on players who have fewer castle icons in their zone than you do. The archery card gives you 2 castles. Working your way clockwise, player 2 has 3 castles, so he can tell you to go take a hike. Player 3 is rocking the pottery with 0 castles, and player 4 has the same number of castle icons that you do. So, of all your opponents, only player 3 has to bend to your steely will. Activating a cooperative dogma works similarly, except this time, any players with as many or more of the given icon in their zones get to participate. If you activate the dogma on your mysticism card, which lets you draw an Epoch 1 card and put it into play if it matches the color of one of your active cards, then any other player who has as many or more castles as you gets to do the same. So in our previous example, player 2, with his 3 castles, could do what this card says too. Going clockwise, no other player has 3 or more castles, so no one else can choose to participate. If any player benefits from a cooperative dogma that you activate, like player 2 did, you get a free draw action. The last action you can choose to take is to dominate. This means that you really killed it in a certain period of history. Dogmas on certain cards will let you stash cards in this influence area at the side of your board. In the center of the table, there's a face-down card representing epochs 1 through 9. To dominate an era, you need to have 5 times as many influence points as the number on the epoch card. So, to dominate epoch 1, you need to have 5 influence points banked. Then you get to take the card and put it on the domination side of your board. You don't spend influence points to do this, they're more of a prerequisite. And don't look at the back at what's on that dominated era card. It doesn't matter because you can't use it. And it's supposed to stay secret anyway. There are also these 5 green domain cards on the table. If you meet the requirements on one of these cards, you take it and stow it with your other dominations. It doesn't cost an action to do this. Each of these cards has a corresponding epoch card that lets you dominate it. So for example, activating your masonry card lets you put any card with a castle icon on it into play in front of you. And if you get 4 cards out in one go, you dominate the technology card. Each domain card has a second condition, which isn't tied to a specific card. For example, you can also dominate the technology domain if you archive or score 6 cards in the same turn. We'll see what it means by archiving later in the video. If you manage to dominate a certain number of domains and/or eras, you instantly win the game. You need 6 dominations in a 2-player game, 5 in a 3-player game, or 4 in a 4-player game to pull off a domination win. Well, that's the whole game in a nutshell. It's pretty simple, right? The complexity in innovation comes from what the individual cards themselves do. And I'm not going to go over every single one, but there are a few key terms that you'll need to be familiar with before you play. Discard means you yeet the card right out of the game. Exchange means you give a card to a player and take a card from that player. You can exchange even if the other player doesn't have any cards. To recycle is to put a card at the bottom of its epoch deck. When you score a card, you put it face down on the influence side of your board. To splay a stack is to spread out your cards in a certain direction so that the icons on one, when you build it back up, you don't get to build it splayed. And to archive a card means to sink it to the bottom of its colored pile while also splaying it if the stack is splayed. A game of innovation can
challenges, a year of change. But as a new decade dawns, one thing never changes. The great race. The mountain is ready. Ready for a race that transcends borders and unites tribes. what a place. It's renowned. No. Revered. The world over. This is the one that all the drivers want to win.
Absolutely maximum attack. Tagging and tagging. This is a battle for Australia's biggest race. Hold your breath, Australia. Oh, no, they're all gone. These guys are the enduro experts. This is off the scale.
The mighty Mustangs are charging, but the old lion still roars over Skyline. This is the final 1,000 Ks in a season like no other. The championship race, that's over.
Oh man, I'm going to hang it out at the mountain. I think no risk, just have a crack.
Now, it's about glory at the mountain.
Does this place turn it on or what?
No reservations, no holding back.
These two do not like each other. The Battle of Bathurst ignites again.
You can throw everything at this.
That gets your heart racing. His car control is immense. That is completely berserk.
You can keep your MCGs, your Olympic stadiums, or your Sydney Harbour. This is Mount Panorama.
You've got to go as hard as you can possibly go.
An all-out battle for Australia's biggest prize, to etch your name into the Peter Brock Trophy. This is the Super Cheap Auto Bathurst 1000.
Built around world-famous landmarks and that amazing harbour, and then just 3 hours, 200 kilometres to the northwest, the city of Bathurst, cross the other side of those magical blue mountains. This is home to more than 43,000 people, and particularly to Mount Panorama, one of the famous racetracks in the world. This is the 60th running of the great race, the Super Cheap Auto Bathurst 1000. Live images, everybody. Good morning and welcome to Mount Panorama for what is going to be another spectacular day of supercar activity. We've got cloudy skies. We're looking for a top temperature of 19 degrees, a light breeze from the west at the moment. Mark Scaife joins me. And just before we came on camera, you said to me, you leaned over quietly and said, this place still makes it pretty wild for us, doesn't it?
It does. This is the biggest day for us, Croppo. When we drove in this morning, it just gives you the same tingle it did when we were young and we arrived here to drive. It's the same thing. It's the biggest event and we can't wait to get it going.
You've had ultra success at this location. Give us your diagnosis of what's likely to unfold today.
Well, discount the weather because for me, just under any condition, there are about 15 combinations that can win this race. And what we need is maximum flexibility. This is the ultimate of thinking on your feet. And what unfolds at this place, who knows?
Well, the hunger for success at this location is enormous, and there's been more churn in the driver combinations than at any other time in recent history. Let's meet the field for the 2020 Super Cheap Auto Bathurst 1000.
Hello.
Hello.
Ladies and gentlemen,
What car do we like
60th
here?
running of the great race
No, Sam's not here, so
Let's
Ah,
look
no.
at
I haven't seen
lining
them
up
yet, so I
today's
picked my
battle.
color. I can see them now, though.
It's
I
an
don't see a
all-rookie
purple one.
combination
No
Pick
purple.
mountain for their
Ugh.
first tour.
Can we just get a bright pink one
Super
with
Cheap
glitter?
drivers Tyler Everingham and Jaden Ojeda in the Gary Rogers Motorsport Wild Card entry.
Once you know that she's playing an emulated version of Tree of Tranquility.
Driving the team Sydney
Right now.
Coca-Cola entry.
Oh, snap.
Rapid Kiwi Chris Pither joins twice runner-up.
Because she
The
wanted the
vastly
harvest.
experienced
Yeah,
Steve
it's one of the hardest after Natsune took it, isn't it?
Owen. His
Or was this one
grandfather
also
won
by
a Grand
Marvelous?
Prix. His
I have
grandfather
no
won a
idea if
Grand
he was
Prix
thinking.
It's the one on the Wii.
62
Yeah, it's the
years
one on the
ago.
Wii.
Alex Davison.
I think I remember that one being fine.
It was supposed to be, I don't know, maybe said it was the second highest rated
race winner,
Star
and Team
Harvest
Sydney
Moonlight
owner
game? I don't know.
Jonathan Webb.
On some random person's website.
New
probably,
talent.
but-
New talent pilots. The unit, Matt Stone racing
But
entry.
that car looks evil.
20-year-old Jake Kostecki
Does get
making his second start. And on debut,
I don't know if you were talking
21
about
laps Tuesday,
Hades earlier,
Zane Goddard.
but it's a really fun story.
For Yellow Cover Racing, from Shepparton, Victoria, former Dunlop Series champ Gary Jacobson forms a new partnership with David Russell, making his 11th start. He's tasted champagne as twice
I'm
runner-up
back.
and copped the
Welcome
mountain.
back.
breeze.
Sam, what car are we?
Joins
we doing?
experienced Dean Fiore
Ah, it's up to you.
and DeWalt Racing Team 18 machine.
They're introducing them right now. So.
Mark Winterbottom conquered the mountain in 2013.
Jay's waiting for the big car.
That one's Michigan colors.
Youngster,
Oh,
James Gold
down with that one
for
then.
Irwin Racing.
Their green and white one, I can go for that. There you go. It's kind of green and white.
Oh yeah.
Twice he's grabbed the trophy.
Not quite the right colors.
He's joined in the Castrol Racing Mustang again by Dale.
Are you watching the race, Sam, or you want to play stuff while we watch? Or?
It doesn't start for another 45 minutes,
Well,
so
that's
we
true.
can play at
Yeah.
least one TFT.
I am. Yeah, I could get up 250. I'm done Sammying for right now, so
And it's a big moment for race rookie Dylan O'Keefe.
let me turn it down.
You said she's going the dead car.
Next door at Brad Jones
Of course.
Racing, there's two Jacks.
It did say Ned
Jack
right on the
Smith
car.
makes his
Whatever
second
that is.
start,
Sammy.
and Jack
Sam.
Perkins
Sammy. I'm sorry. I talked to
pulls on
Sammy
new
all day.
colours
Sam.
after a third
Shit.
placing last year.
Yes.
So
At
how
Team Cool
how is
Drive,
dating going for
Sons
you
of Racing
in
Dads.
Hades?
Macaulay Jones
I am kind of stuck
in the number 3 hole.
because Meg won't show up, and I need to spend a bunch of yeah, like she's refusing to show up and let me give her things, and I need to finish renovating the lounge to unlock.
Ah.
No, I've just done that. I've just finished renovating the lounge enough to.
Nick Percat is a regular Bathurst podium
Like I literally just unlocked the post lock, but right, like on the last run I did.
Bryce Forward is in his rookie year and he's made a strong impression.
I swear I always get murder bitch.
Trisephoné?
Yes. Much.
Alongside them is the 24
I get Electo the most often, I reckon.
who holds the
Really? I don't get her nearly as
Year
much.
7 in the team for Warren Luff, and he's been on the podium for 5 of his last 8 starts. Anton De Pasquale
Is
earned his
Keith
first
joining?
series
Is he
win
still?
this year in Sydney.
He said he's gonna eat
He'll
dinner
line
and
up
join
with
us,
Dunlop
and
Super 2
then he hasn't
and
yet.
E-Series star Brody Kostecki.
Hang on, he's put his finger up too.
In 2012, David Reynolds missed the win by just 0.3 of a second. In 2017, he closed the deal with a victory. With a string of championship winning credentials, Will Brown cements this strong partnership. The Boost Mobile Mustang blends experience and youth. Former series champ James Courtney was runner-up here in 2007. He's alongside 18-year-old Brock Feeney, and today is his birthday. In car number 5, it's a new old combo. Lee Holdsworth lines up with his mate Michael Caruso. Back in 2009, they stood together on the podium here with a 3rd place. Jack LeBrock has enjoyed a competitive season with a win in Sydney. Former runner-up James Moffat remains with Tickford in the Super Cheap Auto Mustang. Last time out at
Hello.
Bend, Cam Waters delivered a sweet victory.
Sorry.
He's still in the
Hello.
series runner-up this season and partners twice winner.
He was wondering why nobody is masked in the is Australia quite controlled? Or...
Twice, Shane Van
And you remembered it's not America.
by a tiny margin.
Well, yeah, I don't know anything about Australian
His
COVID.
sidekick,
Uh-oh.
Ah, I didn't get it in time.
Ah.
is an experienced
Jeff.
and highly favoured duo.
Mr. Toast. He the one that procced it? Procced it.
All-time series champion
I think it might have been him that procced it.
shares the seat again with
C-type to League of Legends.
Craig Lowndes.
Red Bull.
I gotta open up League of Legends.
One of only 4
I think if I open up different Riot-owned games, it like I have to like re-click the play button before it'll open the game. This is a problem that only applies to me and sometimes Sam.
New to Dick Johnson Racing Team
Nobody else plays the card game. Feels bad, man.
He's got one of the
It's
best
there to
seats in
do.
the house,
I just
the
want
famous
time.
number 17
I
machine.
don't make time.
And finally, it's the
Too many
champion
other
elect.
games to play.
Scott McLaughlin has now joined
I'm
the
excited. I really want to.
series titles in succession.
They added so Tom Kench. I got a reward. Let me claim my cool reward. Wow, summoner icon from Riot Game. Thank you, Riot Game. I got a patch now.
There's
so
guys
that
in purple shirts.
I
wonder if
wouldn't
they're, like,
have.
jobby people.
FPX, I got.
Bathurst 1000.
Fnatic 2018 was icon perfect.
Yeah, how
Perfect timing too. They just lost. Feels bad. Feels pick'ems, man.
And one of the great things about this motor race is its international appeal. And I'm very pleased to be able to say that on the other side of the universe at the moment, watching us and ready to have a chat from the UK is the Chief Executive Officer of McLaren, Zach Brown, who's also a co-owner, I beg your pardon, of Walkinshaw Andretti United. It's a very
I'll
good
just
morning.
look
Our
at
time
these.
to you, Zach. Great to have you with us.
Should I have 1 day and 15 hours to play one match-made game? Oh wait, we're doing that. We did it, guys! I'm getting a Hextech key. Poggers.
In position number 3 for Bryce Fullwood in 11th position, missed out by 5/100ths of a second. Your guys have got some great form.
Yeah, I think we're
I don't think I'm getting some of these pick'em icons. Well, that too, but I don't. I believe I'm mathematically incapable of achieving 66 points. Given that I've gotten 2 of my quarterfinals picks wrong. Although one of them only barely feels Fnatic, man.
I don't. You go up 2-0 and then don't win one. It happens more than it seems like it should.
We're really happy with him and look forward to seeing him with another year under his belt with us.
And one of the things that we really love about your interest in supercars is that you're a passionate owner. You've got the race-winning car from 2011 that Nick Percat and Garth Tander put to very good
Kind of like
use
this
to be able
guy.
to pick up a
'Cause this
victory.
guy
Yeah.
cool colors.
About that. I know you've driven
I was thinking that too. I'm like, it's almost purpley pink.
Kinda.
It's fast. I've had a couple of my other friends drive it. Carlos has driven it. Carlos Sainz, Felipe Albuquerque, who I think is putting on a good show at Petit Le Mans right now. So
Cam has been having some net issues. If he isn't talking, that may be why.
Now it's only a few more sleeps. and-
Sorry?
No, I just haven't said anything.
There's that too.
Yeah, yeah, talk about pretty cars with us.
Yeah, he's a great talent.
The problem is, the TV that I'm going to be watching on is literally around the corner from where I'm sitting. I cannot see the TV and play at the same time.
Just have it on a second monitor.
Team principal, and so I think having Daniel and Lando as our drivers next year is going to be an awesome combination on the track.
Sam, do people in New Zealand care about this? Like, is it both countries?
It's definitely more an Australian thing than a Kiwi thing.
The Super View will be next to me all night. The wife will yell at me a few times for turn it down, but I'll
Someone's good at this game.
All right, Zach, great to catch up with you today. All the best in the race for the Super Cheap Auto Bathurst 1000.
Someone spent some money.
Fabulous to
That's
have
kind
a
of a
conversation
cool
this morning. Thank you.
legend, though.
It is. Well, I might have just used all their gems on it.
Well,
Well,
muscling
that's
a 1.5 ton
You still have to spend some money.
That's true. Like anymore, it's hard to call people whales. I guess you're still a whale, but like to a
The lesser.
less, because like
Yeah.
because you could spend like 10 or 20 bucks or whatever to get that.
What do
if
you call a
wanted it.
smaller whale? Like a dolphin?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Guys, I'm so smart.
That's not how nature works, but that is how gotcha terms work. Like, I've technically spent money in Fae, so I would be a dolphin. but I haven't gone ham. I'm not a whale.
What do you call like a mega whale? Like a beluga?
I think you just call them a mega whale. You just make fun of them harder.
Match them.
Ping, 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 ping.
I think I have a pink turtle. I should have been paying attention. What are we doing? What game is this?
I don't actually know either.
Take Diana. Guys, it's me. Go Moonlight. Any Moonlighters?
No, I started the game. As if your first character tells you anything about what you're doing.
Punishment for both man and machine. Pushing a supercar 174 meters up this mountain 161 times will elevate you to a total of 28 kilometers. Justice by law or by sword.
Did I get a Negatron cloak? Bloodthirst for Diana Poggers?
Fortune 3 Poggers?
What? Did you get a fucking... Oh, bro, enjoy free things. I don't think it counts for minion rounds, but... Still. I got a fist.
Them from their pain. I bring swift death.
Been waiting for this. Every mistake is a lesson. The final corner is your last hurdle in this marathon of a race. You and your co-driver.
Armed and ready.
Look, I should have been buying Twisted Fates. The game is really trying to make me go Twisted Fate. Like it's really obvious. Because there's currently just 3 Twisted Fates on my bench. Or my you know what I mean, my shop.
So you're saying it's fate?
Yes. I could have had 5 Twisted Fates. Instead I only have 4.
Ooh, I like this like land. Oh, it's the Richie Boy. Richie Boy has a pretty land.
Oh yeah. I think it's one of the spaceships.
Yeah.
Set 3. Uh-oh. My 2-star Diana didn't win.
Win against Double Nami.
They will be purified.
One of the most successful names in global motorsport is Penske, and it was fabulous just a few moments ago to be able to speak to Zach Brown. We're going to cross now to the United States, where we'll catch up with the founder and chairman of the Penske Corporation.
That guy does not look awake.
Standing by. It's a very good morning our time, Roger. Wonderful to have you join us this morning. Thank you.
Well, we're social distancing, so I'm anxious to see things get started, and certainly it's going to be an exciting day for everyone.
Certainly are social distancing. I think you're in Michigan.
Break the ranks!
I release them from their pain.
Fucking Namis.
He's also the reigning Bathurst champion.
The Double Nami is annoying.
It is very annoying.
Qualified very well for the team for the last look. And you're running NASCAR this weekend as well. That's a full book.
Busy weekend. obviously, Neil, but the real focus is on Bathurst. You know, this is the
I like
last race of the season. It's one we want to win. Obviously, last year, a lot of controversy. And to me, we'd like to get that behind
I'm
us.
very
Scotty's done a terrific job.
I'm very don't know. 'Cause I feel like I'm tunneling on Moonlight and I'm just gonna lose. Because I'm currently just not buying other things, but I don't know. Maybe it'll all come through and I'll get big Aphelios and it'll just like work.
From their pain.
St. Pete's gave him a chance to try something he's always wanted to do, so we're excited to have him come, but his focus and our focus now is on Bathurst. I wish all the drivers and teams, a great weekend, safe race.
Fuck you, Keith.
I wanted the tears, Sam. I always want the tears.
No!
But also
Keith, mama, if it was me.
I would have said the same thing.
Man, all these 94s I got fucked.
Oh yeah, there's 3 of us on 94, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's no question. Just look at the record book on what he's been able to accomplish. And he went through the test in Texas earlier in the year and was third quick there during that practice test. It shows you the talent he has. And we rate him right at the top. But again, to go into IndyCar last weekend, top 24 cars within 9/10 of a second. So it's tight, it's tough, and it's going to be a great day for him, and certainly for us to be able to bring a guy like him into that series for this last race will be very exciting for us.
Well, just as the sunshine peeps out here at Mount Panorama, we'll turn into a three-way chat because Scott's listening in the background. Great to be able to link up with him. Hey, Scott, we've got
Hey, Mama.
on the line.
No, Sam. Did you sell that Aurelia?
Yep.
You absolute bitch.
Blame your husband.
I often do.
Am I? Oh, no, I almost won around, and then I didn't.
Last year you won it on the last 2 laps, so let's remember that. But congratulations on a great season to everybody at DJR Team Penske, Dick and Jill and the whole team there, Fabian. What a great job you guys did. I'm so sorry that we're not able to be there to see this last race. So good luck and congratulations for the championship.
Thanks, RP. We'll be right.
And remember, guys, that's a 2-car team, and so you just touched on it, Rob.
I've seen a total of 4 Moonlight people. Total. Like it doesn't work when I never get anyone to be 2-star.
You just got Diana to be 2-star right now.
But that's not. You have a lot of 2-stars then, so you just win then.
I'm also a level above you.
I mean, yes, but that wouldn't have mattered. You'd have actively fielded 4 people and still beat me. Another 2-star.
7 former series champions, and what a season it's been. We've had 15 different drivers on the podium in 2020 in the Virgin Australia Supercars Championship. And it's probably appropriate to also say a very big thank you to contribution in recent years as well as our primary series sponsor. And very shortly, the cars will go out on the reconnaissance lap where it is a final championship. We're waiting for it to go now, thanks to Pulsar Watson. And Scott McLaughlin as the last car in the pit lane is first out of the lane. He heads off up the mountain. Now the big news is down here at present, we've got some sunshine on the racetrack. And a little bit of scattered cloud here and there. The risk of showers was about 70% between 11 and midday, and then slowly but surely diminishing as the afternoon went on. The end begins. It's conceivable that we even get a dry race through the balance of this one. So we've got A very entertaining race lined up today. 161 laps, 1,000 kilometres, 7 compulsory stops, a compulsory brake change between lap 55 and 120, and some great storylines to unfold. A couple of new rules to talk about in 2020 as well, and we'll unpack some of that information later in the day. When you look at that weather in the background, it's dramatically better than when we first arrived at the circuit. Now, there's a lot of compelling reasons why we love this event. It's unpredictable. The wildest interest. Last year alone, we had 8
I will not falter! Every mistake is a lesson.
Fuel on the road. This is a big, big incident. Some unprecedented scenes. The race has been suspended.
It's like a half-time break.
David Reynolds has got a problem in the car.
I just can't believe it.
Look at that. Oh, man, what an ugly mess.
I bring swift death.
Look at this. They are two heated men.
This is off the scale. He comes away and another way. And Mossa goes through.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, no, they're all gone. They're all gone. Tears off. The dolphins off.
Break the ranks! Justice, by law or by sword?
Gremlins are gone. I'm looking forward to a great race. So, yeah, it'll be exciting.
There wasn't an engine change that had to be done, which is fantastic news. What needed to be done?
No, it dropped oil pressure. It was only the sensor. An alarm came on. So Dino was great. Dropped the engine straight away and got it towed back. New sensor, and it's brand new, hopefully, and ready to go.
Fingers crossed for a great day for you guys.
Thanks.
Tim Edwards, the last 3 days has clearly been the build-up to the big 1000k race today. You have just chalked up 105 days on the road with your crew. How was the feeling, and what was some of the chat that you had?
You're getting somewhere.
It's a bit like a crescendo.
You doing it?
It feels like we've been building for this for 3 and a bit months, and it's funny, I said to a few of the boys this morning, you know, one more night until we're back home, and they said they don't care about that. All they care about is going racing today, so I think this is what we've been building for, and you know, probably for the first time in the currently working in the pit lane, you know, we're going to finish the season with the main event, so it's pretty exciting.
It's not unfamiliar territory.
Shit, because I'm putting items on my Diana, and having a 2-star Silas also made me win a match finally.
Nice.
I release them from
I
their
know.
pain.
Damn it, Josh.
You know, get the Holy Grail. You know, we've won it so far.
Ah.
But I think all 4 of our combinations have got a red hot.
No.
You know, clearly the car starting on pole. You know, arguably.
Funny that the tier's on another Lux, dude. This is gonna be 2 Lux tiers that I will have picked in a row.
Hey, you kid.
Must be nice.
I really want a tier. Like, I would love a couple of tiers.
I'm shocked.
I have 2 now. You just gotta get them for yourself, forehead.
You tried.
I know. Just get luckier.
Do you want me to smack him?
I wouldn't say no to that offer.
Or have
I think I'm a little. Here you go, hon.
Lighter and look after the pump, and we've changed valves and all that sort of thing. And yeah, it just keeps coming back. But yeah, car's fast.
Have a big
Tom's
twist of fate.
Doing a mega job all weekend, so looking forward to see how it goes.
All right, best of luck, and just for people home so they understand.
Where
big steering
to,
wheel, if
Buck?
the power steering does fail, you'll try and keep going with the tractor steering wheel.
Exactly.
Good luck, mate.
Here,
Have a
mate.
good one at home, guys. Enjoy, Joshy and everyone. Enjoy.
That is Thomas Randall in the car there, and yesterday did a great job in the Dunlop Super 2 race to be the winner of the second race. Boy,
Where are we aiming
with Mark Larkin as the car's end there, reconnaissance lap down, start to we always race.
What's up, baby?
Break the ranks!
Hi, baby. Hi, itty bitty mochi babe.
A very quick car this week, very consistent.
No, 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 no!
Every mistake is a lesson.
Oh, mwah. Hello! Did you come to get kisses? No? Okay.
From the front row of the grid, and a view from car number 6, racing Mustang. So most of the cars have now dropped into position. Good news that it looks like all 25 have got all their gremlins sorted, and they are out on the grid. Here's Chad.
I bring swift
across
death.
the course of today, and one of those is the Volunteer Official Award, which typically goes to one recipient.
What?
To recognise the hard work
Yes, I see you.
Supercars Championship. But today I've got Jacqueline Devereaux on hand to accept this award on behalf of all volunteer officials who give so much time and energy to help out.
You want to stand on my keyboard? No, Mochi, don't lay on the keyboard. Ugh. Get a little bit over here. Good girl.
Fans here, isn't it, mate, this time round? What's the vibe, mate? How are you feeling like we're this close to the start of the race? Tell people home what it feels like for you, mate.
Right now it's well, it's
Ouchie.
very different to how it is normally. So wishing everyone that was here, that was meant to be here, I can't wait to see you back here because it's.
You're in bike range.
It's fun, but it's awesome when you get out on the track. But the atmosphere you really miss, especially across the top. So we're missing you all, but. Right now, there's a fair bit of nerves going on. I'm a pretty nervous driver. You think about, the things that can go wrong, the things that can go right. You got to control what you can control. And, I'm in a really good place, headspace wise. I'm just going to go ahead and see where we're set coming out of turn 1. And,
You want your iPad?
Yeah, see if we can get a good run in the first thing.
So let me ask you, Scott.
I will not falter!
Joining Stalker the cat,
Yeah, she's got a little game on it she likes to play. So, well, it's our iPad still. Like, she doesn't have her own iPad, but I do give her the iPad when I'm trying to do stuff because it distracts her.
We've gone away from that strategy. I think we'll just start me and go to the conventional way and see what happens.
Thanks, buddy.
Cheers. So it sounds like Scott McLaughlin's going to be starting in car 76. Down here at car number 6. Cam, great lap yesterday in the shootout. Have we made a decision yet?
Keeps her occupied, that works.
I use it a lot when I'm working. She wants to lay on my keyboard, so.
Break the ranks!
Yeah, get down.
Just one tier. I just want a tier.
Just one tier.
Please, game.
And colour back to the event.
Cool. Can I have
Give
it?
it to you if I could.
Plan calls.
Wolf strikes.
Or I'd like to call you Matty.
Time to
It's going to be really weird with you not here this year, so we thought we'd give you a shout out on Sunday, and we look forward to seeing you here next year.
Hey Michelle, it's Frosty here. You've been coming to Bathurst for 17 years. It's a shame you're not here.
There she
is. Race from home, but make sure in 2021 you get back to Bathurst attendance. So enjoy your day. Cheer on car 18.
Ow.
Sorry.
Hey, dueling.
Hmm?
I love your duelers. Your duelies.
It was not by my hand.
That you were once again given flesh?
And I was once again given flesh.
So happy birthday from everyone in Supercar Land. Have a great weekend and watch it all on TV.
And now I'm just thinking about the image that you found the other day that I hadn't seen in years. The Jeopardy Dracula.
That was Sam.
I'm sorry to say.
So he deserves full credit for.
I'm just like, that's one of my all-time favorite images of the internet, I think.
Well, that was certainly a beautiful piece, and it really is going to be wonderful to be able to bring everybody back, and that is the Peter Brock Trophy. That's what everybody is fighting for today. It really does.
Is one piece completed?
To be able to put your name on it. Craig Lowndes has done it 7 times. Peter Brock has done it 9 times. But right now, we pause for some
I will not falter!
And I have some matters to ask. We need help.
Wait, you can go Moonlight 5 now? They never had that before.
No, I'm so. There's so many things I want.
I don't need the tier anymore,
I can't get
Sam.
any of it now.
I don't need it.
I need it.
I don't need it.
Baby, 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 baby. Go get your iPad. Yes.
I don't know what I need. I'm gonna take what I believe is Atrix.
Yeah, that's an AA Trox.
Yeah, get him, Mochi. Get him out. Get him. Good girl.
Finally have a tier.
You're welcome.
They will be purified.
Had to make you work for it.
And I ask all this in Jesus' strong name. Amen.
Thank you, Gary.
Do
Now,
not
some cars would
tempt
also like
a
to acknowledge
viper.
the traditional landowners, the Rajuri people, for this very special place. So now to perform the Australian national
Oh, there's a
anthem,
national.
some local
You hear the
school
national.
children from the
I never
Bathurst
remember what it is.
Oh wait, I could just do this.
What for Australia? Oh, they're singing Australia's anthem in the moment.
Yeah. It's children though, so.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Cause it's Australians, oh let us rejoice, for we are young and free. Something, 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 for we are girt by sea.
I don't think I've ever heard New Zealand.
It's half in Māori, half in English. Like the first.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I have duelist aid.
It's 161 laps.
Sorry.
1,000 kilometers. Fuel is going to be a very big part of the story. Typically, and these are all.
I just got pooped on.
Just on my right-hand side here, the rules require a 7-stop sequence.
Fair, my comp doesn't like. It's not good. It's supposed to be, but it's not.
138. Just park it in the back of your thoughts at the moment. It can be affected, of course, by the weather. Chaz has got the lap record here. He did it late in the race yesterday when he was driving. Oh, sorry, last year for Tickford. Now, this is a big story, but out there at the moment, the sun is shining. Top temp is 19 degrees. A few showers lurking around. Now, ready to track this is going to be a very important part of the story. It is on a perfect day, let alone one where there could be some weather. There's a compulsory if you get it wrong. Now this is interesting as well because it's got to be managed. There are so many factors.
And so many offensive items.
No more games.
There.
On the other side of that, and you can't do more than 3.5 hours of continuous driving time. And
There
I
we
can pretty
go.
much guarantee that you're going to see the KO safety car today. We saw it 8 times last year. Now let's have a look at a couple of other things here. How do you win the race? Well, there's some fundamentals that you must tick off. The car's got to be fast and adjustable all day long. Both drivers have got to be compatible with a minimum amount of variance in their lap speed. It's a given. You've got to be easy on those Dunlop tyres and the BP Ultimate fuel. No mistakes, no dramas, no hassles. You've got to get through cleanly to be able to get yourself in position with absolute perfect pit stops and speed. You've got to be able to see around corners. And you've got to stay on the lead pack all day.
I need to like put any of my items on anybody in my team. I have so little item use. I believe that that's actually what's killing me more than anything else. That and the fact that I refuse to level because I'm trying to roll or Fucking Moonlight Power Fantasy. I think she just likes
Is
to
there
lay
a
on the
way to
iPad.
She
tell-
eventually falls asleep on the iPad. It's really.
Is there a way to
Same
tell
thing.
how much my Vega has actually earned?
I think if you click on him, you can just see how much AP he has. Guys, remember that thing I just said about power fantasies?
There is she. Okay.
Tank capacity we covered off before. The fuel burns about
Now I can
4.6
just do
litres
it.
per lap. When you refuel, 3 3/4 litres of fuel with every passing second. So if you could save, for example, the size of a typical can of soft drink, there's some BP Ultimate. You save that.
Ow!
I'm sorry.
Are you? Are you though?
I'm sorry.
Less than 1 second. Can you believe these numbers? It is astonishing. So this stuff is ultra important.
Can do it 4-star Diana.
Oh, we missed one, guys.
Off that hook, but you definitely cannot bank on it. Now I'll just summarize quickly. How do you do that? Use short shift, so you don't use all of the available 7,500 revs. You grab those.
I bring swift death.
Coast out of the throttle, up mountain straight, down the bottom in Conrod straight, and sometimes over the top of the skyline. That's how you save. Don't do the big blips on the downshift, because if you could save just 200 mil of VP Ultimate in this thing per lap, 200 mil, it's next to nothing. It's about half of that. Range by 1 lap. I can guarantee you that this is going to be a
Oh no.
He's geared lock on there.
Because Tom Kinch has this is a
He's
roll
so
which
much
makes him
damage,
taunt everybody at the start of the round.
I did. Oh! Feels bad.
Sorry.
I don't think I was that dead yet. Fucked me too hard, dude. I needed one more round. I was gonna
Oh
put
god,
my
I know
Akali
what I
in.
want. I know what I want real bad.
Is it the blue buff, Sam? Is it all the mana in the world? That's too.
It's not actually. It's not the blue buff.
Elderwick.
It's Elderwick. Elderwick's really good.
And you are eldering. I see that. I shouldn't have greeted. If I put in my Akali, I don't know if I would have won, but I wouldn't have died. I didn't like process that I was that near death. I had a Akali ready to fuck asses.
Fuck ass.
Back to me, Chad. Lee Holdsworth just
He's ready to fuck ass and take names. He's all out of names.
into the car, Lee. Everything just went silent. Things are starting to get serious. How's it feeling amongst the middle camp?
The calm before the storm. No, we're excited at the moment. Caruso and I have done this plenty of times before, so we're just
Hey, you didn't tell me your post and stuff. We missed a tricker. Your
I said that.
your picture proc, did you?
Oh, I might actually lose here.
Monkey on me.
I think I'm dying to that person's ghost. Yep. What do they have?
Keep it simple.
No.
Sharpshooter.
Oh, sharpshooter 6.
Who's that?
A guy on fire.
Guy's on fire, yeah.
Okay.
He's a shooty lad. Hope you have armor. Or
Yeah.
Doesn't help when he's sharpshooter because it bounces. Unless it's on
I mean,
everybody.
yeah. If you got, invest in Thornmails. Just have Thornmail's forehead.
I stand ready.
I needed more beans, and then maybe I'd be okay. And then again.
Yeah, this guy I think is just gonna win.
Oh shit! You guys got triple items. Fuck my life, bro. Anybody get any thorn mails? The guy winning got 2 fucking lockets.
Swift death.
Funny because that means his golem's gonna have a big shield. I feel like sudden hard pivot into vanguards is the only way to win this game. But that's probably unlikely.
Gorgeous images. Mount Panorama Bathurst, nice and green at the moment. We've had a little bit of rain in the recent past. In fact, not very long ago, I was given some photos up here when you and I were in the studio calling one of the supercar races and it was snowing. Isn't this fabulous? How cool is this? Hi everybody, hope you're enjoying your typical annual Bathurst Fest with us in our coverage all around Australia. I bet there's plenty of barbecues lighting up here, there and everywhere. And a big hello and good morning to everybody also around the circuit as well. Scott McLaughlin.
The time for talk is over.
The fact that I've never saw a second or third Ari really bugs me.
Sorry. I've seen so many Lilia, but I don't need Lilia.
Saw the Aku, it happened.
I'm watching someone just try and attack Tom Kench and it go nowhere. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. That's what Tom Kench does. Very good at it. The fun thing is that if you make Gargoyle's Stone Plate on him, because he already has innate damage reduction, then he just gets even more damage reduction. I would have loved a Fortune 2 Tom Kench, dude. Fortune is like one of my favorite things to play because like it's the lose really hard and then win and then get all of your money back.
Such a
or just keep winning, but if you lose, it's okay.
God, this guy's unstoppable. I got farther this time.
Oh, that's a dank Warwick.
right.
The rapid fire is so nutty on people that realistically shouldn't have it. So like the fact that he can just like distance slash and fuck people, it's nutty.
Oh, nap there, baby.
Like Warwick's actually really good this set compared to like every other set where he's like a 1 cost and he fucking sucks. You're like, what if we made Warwick good?
Yeah.
And McLaughlin Slade entries.
You see all the cars again, which is nice. I don't like the boost one. Ugh.
And that Azir just went fucking ruptured the anus of your team.
Yeah, nah, I was never. It's never. I could have if I had gotten the.
I beat him.
I could have beat him if I had gotten the 2-star Ari.
This is another strong combination. LeBrock and Moffat, Hazelwood and Boys.
I don't know.
Blanchard lines up alongside Winterbottom and Goldie. Rick Kelly, huge amount of experience. Fan images all over the
Look,
Castrol.
my little baby.
This weekend, they've done a great job. Jacobson and Russell. David Russell's been very good throughout the course of the event so far. Chris Pither lines up with Steve Owen in the Coke Commodore. And rounding out the field after an incident in qualifying.
I think I got lucky that time. I don't think this is gonna happen again.
That's our lineup.
Never know.
What?
Maybe your new item will win the day.
Hey,
Take a chance.
Hey.
Roll the dice.
Thank you.
So he's daxing off.
Like he's gonna move people around.
I don't know that he will, because he needs his guys hiding in the corner.
Yeah.
I think he's just gonna like roll and hope that things happen, but I don't know what he. I don't know what he rolls that doesn't. He doesn't have anything on his bench. Like the most he can get is a 2-star Nidalee, and that doesn't fucking do anything. I just win. I think you're gonna be Jackson off.
Come on.
Watching that Callista just go nuts is hilarious.
Yeah. Nope.
Oh, he's Jackson off?
No, he's not Jackson off enough though.
He almost did.
I wonder if I should move Bull.
He doesn't. Well, what did you get here? Yeah.
Get a rapid fire.
And the rapid fire doesn't actually help him that much.
No, really?
I would have liked it.
These guys already have range. Yeah, it would have been great for you.
And that puts your Jax way in the back, so... I don't know.
Put GA on Yon.
Yeah, probably Yon or Lee Sin, whoever's doing more for you.
I would lean more towards the Lee Sin just because he's the 2-star, isn't he?
Yeah, Lee Sin, yeah, I would say that too.
Okay.
He can kick more people. If he's not moving people, you could move it. You could try to move.
Oh well.
Well, part of it sucks because you have you have
I messed
exiles.
up.
So Sam, like you could
Yeah, my exiles makes it a little harder to
position. Because part of me was gonna say launch your guys at his guys. Actually, Callista could have been good for GA2.
Yeah.
I assume her spears are still there.
I feel like that's opening problem.
Like Aurelia just had to walk around the whole team to get there.
Yeah, that's.
You could probably move Aurelia to the front.
Well, I don't think I'm gonna live.
No, you
oh
are.
shit!
I think you win.
No.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah, so
I would maybe move Aurelia up. Put her. I would say put her next to Jax, and then move Yasuo back a little bit or something. I think Aurelia. Yeah, because I think Aurelia's ult is enormous because it prevents his auto attack team from auto attacking.
Okay.
The faster she goes off.
Yeah, so he can go down here.
Yeah, you could do whatever. Yeah.
See what happens.
Like getting Aurelia in. He moved people too, but he switched sides. That's fine, actually, because you just want Aurelia to be hitting. You want her to go kaploop. Oh, that she angled. She didn't angle it very well, unfortunately.
Yes. That's GG.
Yeah.
That's okay, it's close.
Unlucky. Unlucky.
He also had a level on me, so.
Before, and you do not make a mistake, and you tick every box, and you're perfect, and everything goes your way, you get to win this race, and that validates your passage through Australian motorsport. It's big.
Absolutely. And
Give
it's
us feedback.
Such an easy race to lose and such a hard race to win. The smallest things will affect today's outcome. It's the biggest prize that we have in our sport. It's our grand final, and we love it.
Cars rolling into position.
Assume you're gonna go watch the race.
Yeah, that would be a correct assumption.
Shelby Power Racing Mustang alongside.
Sounds good.
GG's, thanks for the games.
Yeah, we are watching with Team in Spirit then.
We're in the midst of one of the toughest periods
Breaking the rules.
around the world in modern history. But today, we
Yeah, it's... Yeah, I don't know how much of it I'm gonna actually be able to watch because of that. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. I might actually jump on Discord on my phone, but not be at my PC. So I will be back.
Okay.
Or are we just gonna play games and watch races? Sounds good. Well, Keith's probably watching streams or something, and not the race.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not watching. I never do.
What's Mrs. Man?
I don't know.
Car racing just doesn't do it for me.
I don't normally watch it, but this is a fascinating race. It's so much different than like NASCAR.
It is. Wait, there's a Coca-Cola car. Okay, I'm gonna have to.
But also Arcadum song, so.
I like Coca-Cola.
Tander's got away nicely in car 97 for Red Bull, followed by Courtney Luff, Caruso, Lowndes, Randall, and then we've got Di Fiore in position number 10. Nice clean start for the first half of the lap. They'll slowly begin to bring temperature up in brakes. They'll bring the temperature pressures up in those tyres.
After Stardew?
To feel more secure.
Yeah.
Remember that green light denotes the co-driver on board. So the leading co-driver is Davison, currently second.
There's
load
I would imagine the and like just things don't work like you kind of think they would in some of the older ones. You're like, yeah.
Forest elbow, a chance to relax. Look around. Who are you racing?
Oh yeah.
What position am I in? What can I do to try and get myself a critical position or two early in the game? How's this for a battle? Oh, you're getting the slipstream of this, but there is nowhere to go. Oh. That was so close to the wall round.
It's like this is the rest of my life.
I want to do that on the opening line, thank you. There's a couple of grey beards in here that took a step back when all
yeah. I mean, Fogu is still around, right?
And like by now they'll be wiki, but.
As they made their last James Moffat is the one that's got the big move coming up the inside. He'll get in here with that exit speed. So James Moffat, who's been on the podium here in 2014, makes a great exit on pit straight and grabs that spot.
Hang on.
Like game facts.
Oh, hang on, I got you. Tree of Trick. Hear it. Oh shit, this one is just yeah. For some reason, Tree of Tranquility on this one sucks.
They probably never updated it for the future.
And they put a huge effort into trying to change the aero impact on what was going on with pressure building in the cabin.
Wow.
Can you believe it?
Wow.
Jones is in the car at the moment. He's being assaulted by Rick Kelly. These fellas are in position 16
we moved
and 17 in the race at the moment. And there it is.
Yeah, yeah. It's really, that's fair.
This is a cruel game, really. This is such a cruel sport. Confirmation from Motorsport Australia. Race control. Black flag is now being shown to car number 3. So Macaulay Jones is going to have to bring that car in. Well, a pretty sedate opening lap. Often I say that
hello.
Hello. I'm just really shocked that Fogu doesn't have a good one. I really am.
They're really fogging around.
They really Fogu'd this up.
Pretty even. He actually bombed down, didn't he? So Will's flinch reaction time was very good.
Oh.
What happened was that in the next part of the start, Scott just got it right. Now we saw start rehearsals.
Yeah.
Very good. Here's the view. Listen.
Yeah.
That's where it's at. Not only rehearsals here this weekend, but to have gone through the 30 races that bring us to this point in 2020.
Just try to have a nice time. Yeah.
That's the car. So that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one that was trying to get stall. That's why the flags were out.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Remember, folks,
I will sow fear.
19 kilometres an hour, faster than the legal speed limit in Australia in your road-going condition. Let's relive this moment. This is Will Brown with pace in hand, but where do you go? And it's almost full rock and roll. And when you're that close to the preceding car, it destabilises the aero. So Tony D'Alberto actually had a tank slapper when he got through the chase. And this car's been now mechanically black flagged. They'll have to bring it in and resolve this problem. It's been a real
yeah.
going on. I reckon this is the 56th time that we've seen it with our cameras as to what's going on. We've got 180 crew here, 41 fixed cameras, 94 onboard cameras, 35 kilometres of cable to bring you these magical images. And unfortunately, one of those images in the pit lane of Brad Jones Motorsport. And they've got a problem with the Cool Drive car. They're going to have to get that thing sorted and do something drastic to try and shut it down. So Courtney's gone faster in Sector 1 than anybody else. They did get to the bottom of the warm-up problem this morning with those bent rim
I'm not actually 100% sure. My guess is... Yeah, no, there's normally people on that corner. So yeah, it looks like there's not a lot of people there.
That run out wasn't just a little bit of run out, it was probably 25 or 30 mil of wheel buckle. Now the reason
No, like Australia was doing pretty good, but like they've just, I think Melbourne in particular and New South Wales, no, Melbourne's in Victoria, I think. It's not far from here, like one of the major cities was in like full lockdown because of a significant outbreak. Like they were getting like hundreds of cases a day at one stage.
Of Australia's biggest race, the door comes open.
He's going to be ropeable. Oh. He left the circuit very angry and frustrated last night when number 8 was underweight. And this is hard to recover from, but this year it will be easier than previous years because
I believe Biden complimented our governor, though, for what it's worth.
But that's a tough break. And stop to understand.
Biden, that's all we can ask for right now.
A couple of top 10 results for it go. And what you can't do is you can't just tape it up because you've got to be able to get in and out of it all day. So that's the
We were having this discussion because we're doing like a video, like a PSA. It's internal, so like other people aren't going to see it. And we were talking about like a section being about how explaining to people who come in being like, well, the governor's orders aren't real anymore. How do you like talk to someone like that? Like, yes, there is some confusion going on, but you still need to wear a mask. We've only had it happen once. One customer got belligerent and, you know, threw stuff. So. No.
Straight to the quarry on the left towards Reed Park, and then essentially sector 2 is at top of the mountain, and the bottom sector gets you from Forest Elbow all the way back to the finish line. So essentially it's the climb up, the rush across the top, and the blaze down the bottom, and the braking.
Yeah.
I got the guys to find that for us because he had a big moment. That was a big moment for Will. And then what I was trying to get to is if you're Deep Fiore, you don't know that there's someone else there. So that's the hard part. When you get round the outside, you're doing 300 kilometers an hour on cold tires. How you don't have a moment? What you do have
yeah.
is just we're on the replay there and you're late to stop.
Oh, bless her heart. Yeah.
But in fact, all of them are not on the ideal line there, and they've all got the slide on. They're all doing 280, 290 kilometers an hour at that point.
Who needs a beat down?
The new fastest lap of the race. It's
yeah.
6.4. He's got 2.2 seconds over Will Davison, and Di Pasquale's rolling along nicely at the moment. This morning, he was pretty happy with the general behaviour of the car, but concerned about its straight line pace, and thought that that was going to make him.
A 15-second time penalty to be carried out at his next pit stop. That's failure to comply with the black flag regulations.
Oh, she's sick. Oh no, baby!
I will not falter!
Just up the road from the pack. So what they've got to do is try to put enough pace on so that they don't lose a lap early in the event. So they're down at Forest Elbow, and Scott McLaughlin's just getting the skyline. So that's the key now for Mac.
Oh, poor baby.
Press on hard.
I've tried this before on Jelly and Gino, and none of them liked it, but I gave it a try again when we first got Mo. He's always really liked it, and it's really cute because eventually she falls asleep on the iPad. Like, she wears herself out. It's so
is now sitting last in the field. He is still at least on the lead lap. There's one garage that's pretty good on strategy plays here.
Yeah.
Brad Jones Racing, they're good at that stuff.
Yeah. And then she's. This is even more ridiculous. She has a TV in front of her baby blanket on my desk, so that I can put on videos of birds for her too, so she can just kind of enjoy the nature too. Huh, baby? You're spoiled. You're a spoiled brat.
I will not falter!
Yeah. Yeah. It is. She's different. Our vet, when we took her to the vet yesterday, they kept commenting on how small she is, even though she's really not. She's 8 pounds, so she's like cat size. But she just is standing next to Gino. And our vet kept being like, she just looks so small, but I know she's not. Yeah.
Thank you, Craig. Caught him in the act. David Couch is the engineer. Jamie Wincup, the primary driver in that car. Second gear run out of turn 2.
Sweet.
It's worth noting that
I just found Moonlight. It was in Silas. We're going Moonlight 5. It's happening, boys. He does. I don't know that it's like, I don't know if he updates it or if someone else updates it or what. I'm sure there's a highlight channel. I don't know. He uploaded something a month ago, but that was the only video since a year ago. But you could, there's a Moon highlight. Oh, I don't know. That only has 70 videos. I don't know. Moon TV. That might be the one. I don't know. There's a bunch of random types of channels.
and he just jumps straight on, gets on board, gets on with it. It's his 20th event here. Runner up in 2017 and 18. Then 3 times finished in third in the recent past. So 5 of his last 8 let him
Up we go!
I need to get my Aphelios in, dude. At some point I'm gonna get Callisted. Oh, I was about to pop my shield too.
The normal racing and normal corporate days and ride days and practice days, the drivers would have been in the chair. It was important to get him in and get him going. He did a really good job. In fact, he was in the first session.
Let's get to the fun.
Straight away than Chaz Mostert.
Moonlight 5.
Very nice job as we go through the field. Pick up where your favourite driver is. And this is Zane Goddard with a really heavy right-hand front wheel lock. That will have put a mark on that tyre. He goes off the edge of the road. Nice work by Tyler Everingham there to know what was going on. He didn't turn down on him. He stayed out of the traffic. So spare a thought for those two young men. Tyler Everingham and Joe Jada.
Tremendo!
But those young guys have cumulative total of 0 plus 0. Experience here. Craig Lowndes and Jamie Wincup with 44.
That was kind of trying to find the narrowest possible margin from the right rear corner to the wall on the approach between Reed Park and McPhillamy Park. He's partnered with Jack Perkins this weekend. For Jack Smith, it's very early in his supercar days. Jack Perkins just needs run this weekend. I refuse to wait. Well, so congratulations to Jack and Tara.
That's a nice message.
Yeah, it is a big thank you because not much motor racing's been able to unfold in 2020 across a variety of categories. So the fact
They aren't gonna like this.
Well, if I get 2 more Aphelii, and I get 2 3-stars for free. I have 3 chain vests. I don't really know what to do with them. Guess I could just put them on Thelmus Kent. Oh, this guy's doing it too. Washington fucking... Oh no, he's not. He's Moonlight too. He's just pretending. So he just has a regular 3-star Diana. What a piece of shit. He's not even cheating. Only I'm cheating. He's winning. Imagine high rolling, dude. Can't relate.
This morning, he said when they got the weekend, it was a handful, and they've slowly tamed
The fuck is with all these spalulas, bro?
It's a lot.
into the race. Into the race preparation. So he thought he did a run.
Do I just take one of them? I guess I have a fawn now. I guess that's what we're doing. I could have taken the Sejuani. That wouldn't have been bad, actually.
Just based on a couple of the changes that they've made, but was otherwise happy with the behaviour of the car. And looking at his teammate, Craig Lowndes, he's probably now got to put a move on Michael Caruso. He's probably holding him up a little bit too much. You just see there as he come up into the top of the hill and up onto the roof. 3 or 4k faster than Michael Caruso. So right now, probably better off to sneak down the inside. That spot there is one of the favourite overtaking manoeuvres. He's got a good one coming out of Ron Delbo. And what he needs to do now is put a nice authoritative manoeuvre on and then march his way towards Warren Luff. Because that car, about 25, and he'll be able to do the fuel saving in behind this car. So I reckon that David Downey and Rowan Gaynor marked up this code.
Up we go!
Just see that little body language move there. He's just showing the nose, and he's the champion of that. That's his signature move, Lowndes. He's done 355 races by Caruso, so though he's not full time at the moment, he's still vastly experienced. Now we're picking up this car because we intercepted a radio message from Rick saying he's got no clutch. Now, that's not going to be a major issue out there right now, but it will be when he comes in for the stop. That's weird to have no clutch like that. They just do clutch in James Courtney's car as well, car 44.
They aren't gonna like this.
How good was the
Oh.
Oh, that's a can of worms that you didn't know you were opening up. Within the last week and a half, I was asked. So a week and a half ago, I was asked to sub temporarily for a teacher who's retiring, and then another one who also retired. And then on Wednesday, I was told the temporary substitute, the long-term sub that they were planning to replace me, backed out. So now I am just a math teacher now until I'm not. So it's a lot more complicated. Yeah.
I mean, it's
like
bad.
it's me or somebody less competent than me, so it's me.
I mean, that seems.
I do get paid more.
Okay,
I
well,
need to. I do get paid more. Yes, that is true.
Racing's hard at the best of times, but I can promise you, from personal experience, Craig Lowndes is a terrier. He's a pest.
Does that mean there's a chance of keeping? Or you don't know.
In the nicest possible way. So he ducks and dives and just hangs
I'm like, it's
They aren't gonna like
it's
this.
it's a lot of. It's a lot. That's what I'll say.
Well, I mean, you also don't like have. You and information weren't exactly like, you know. You weren't given the information that you needed, and everything was kind of a mess for a while.
Up we go!
Yeah.
Like, how many teachers retired this year from math?
2 retired, 1 switched to A2 virtual.
But
He
it's no
didn't
longer
retire,
at
but he's not at Skyline. So we've lost 3 math teachers.
For further repair.
Thanks, Rihanna. Yeah, that's laps remaining. So very frustrating. frustrating start for a couple of teams. Now this is probably
The adventure
to that
continues.
question that I threw up earlier today, and I've been doing it in the recent past when we've been talking about the impact of prep. Teams have been on the road, and what I'm saying, but it does raise the question mark.
I have 3 3-stars. One of them is real. Alright, I need to put Sunfire King.
Kids who were helping me over here. Somebody else, or they just kind of...
They put another TA to work with Langston, so he's not completely abandoned. But definitely not an ideal situation for him.
Now he's done that. Now that'll make life easier for Michael. In fact, if anything, sometimes what happens is that you find a better rhythm and you can actually stay with whoever's just slid on by. So Chief Executive of Tickford was in the blue jumper there, Tim Edwards. And Lee Holdsworth watching. So that brings Craig a big partner in the 7th position.
I think a Bamble nest. I theoretically want to get Fortune into. That's why I have a Tom Kent. It's not there yet.
Lex, the legend. We turn him into a television star. Hey, Lex. What a ripping little bloke.
What item do I want?
Don't know. So we let him loose with a camera. Big mistake. Never worked with
I
kids
don't
and
know.
And he's a funny little character. He's got a very dry sense of humour, and he's added another dimension to an otherwise difficult time in the recent past.
Now, Lex Kelly asked me yesterday, what's that Neil Compton?
Yeah, that guy's dancing.
Someone clip that off. 150 laps remaining. Scott McLaughlin's our leader with 4.6 in hand.
I love New South Wales chopper camp, and it's very green at this time of the year. It looks beautiful. So down the inside, nice maneuver. When you have a look.
This is the guy winning is also doing Moonlight. He just somehow like made it work harder.
That's always frustrating.
I mean, a lot of it's that I need to just like level. I'm a level. Just 3 team
Then he was intent on sneaking up the inside. So nice job. Pleasing up.
I refuse to win.
Now the other guy that just
Alright, there's the Katarina. That's what I want.
You don't want Katarina.
Yeah, dude, she's Fortune Assassin. Both of those things are in my thing. I can finally do Fortune now. I'm also only 2 off of 3 different 3-stars at a time. I need 2 Dianas, or Ophelios, or Lysandras. I don't die. I will.
Sorry.
I did. I'm specifically doing a not good. Like, Moonlight isn't good, I'm pretty sure. But, it's like some dumb shit that I super fall for every time. It's definitely designed to appeal to the kind of bullshit that I'm into. Which is reroll bullshit strats. Wait, I have a Nico. Holy fuck.
Did you forget that?
Yeah. I like never get one, so then I forget when I have.
Oh, I have 2 now.
And I'm like, that's actually super useful for the thing I said about being very close to restart.
The reason I say that is he's also the reigning Dunlop Super 2 champion, so the
What can we get?
program for supercars has worked
There's
well
Big
for him.
Affilio.
Skill set to be able to come into the main game. He's done a really nice job. And they're a big rap for him in the team because he's easy to work with. They like working with him. His feedback is strong and he's making good pace. There's nothing like a driver that makes pace for a team to love you. Exactly. And
Well, there's Alessandra. I Nico'd for it.
So
but
I need to save this.
this gives me a 4-star. Large Silas. He's very large.
He a biggie boy?
He's got 5,000 HP.
Lilia's again! I'm not running mage, fuck!
That Lux rammed down my butt with that shot. Yeah, I'm fortunate now. I get all this free money. Og.
.5 seconds, so that's McLaughlin to Deep Pasquale, then Tander, Courtney, followed by Luff, Lowndes. He's actually steamed away pretty nicely now for Michael Crusoe's got a couple of seconds in hand.
Problem is that I need Diana's. And Washington Buds has a 3-star Diana still.
We're certainly enjoying it as we always do. It's a great race. Take it along nicely and build up until we get near the end of the day. Sort of looking around the skyline at the moment.
I'm gonna put items on this lad. What the fuck? What just killed me?
Come
Oh,
on, come on,
Eugene
come on.
4th shot my whole team. Okay, well, I'm
GG.
dead.
Big ass tree.
Big Maokai.
Literally 1 hit away. Ugh.
Oh well, that was Josh, by the way.
Oh. Fucking
That's
dono.
Josh's big tree. His large lad, his stonking. Not as large as my Silas was.
The adventure continues.
But it didn't matter because now I'm dead.
Give up now!
That, just let me put it in the garage and work out what's going on with that clutch. There's the fastest lap.
I think it's right.
Tremendo!
Yeah, he killed me. Just like straight out of the game. That's a Vanguard item on Tom Kench, I think. And also Lilia. I think that's what that is.
Yeah.
In case anyone was like, what the fuck is that? I'm pretty sure it's Vanguard spat. I need to learn more comps, because the one comp I know is not good, and I lose with it all the time. I'll never stop playing it.
Bruce wasn't quite there. He's flipped that around and Craig's on his way.
Well, and have a look at the numbers. Larko, On the last lap, he was the third fastest car. And on the previous 2 laps, he's done his 2 fastest
We
laps.
aren't
So as
gonna
soon as
like
he
this.
was able to get by Michael Caruso, for Lowndes fans, he's in this battle today for sure. He's currently 7th, but he's making ground on car 25. So the problem, they are 6
None of this! Sleepy time! Hugify!
Break the ranks!
That's actually a pretty good combination too for the team overall. Chances in this round.
Yes!
That's what it is. Joe Poppet stayed in the car, by the way. So, pops him back down the order, but it ticks off one of those compulsory stops that we talked about a bit earlier. So, not too many have taken the opportunity to jump in and do that early ultimate strategy, but the good thing is there is a bit of divergence, so when people do different things, it throws up different possibilities.
They aren't gonna like this!
That's now 6.5 seconds near enough from Davis.
Those co-drivers that we spoke about earlier. Pretty much drive or drive. So we'll go for the Garth Cam and Craig Lowndes, Warren Lane. They've got the same pace as the final drive.
Now I'm listening to Thomas Randall on the shoulder. He's straight at power steering again, and he's complaining about it again right now. Yep. So we'll stay with him. We'll watch this for the lap, but it's varying in its steering load enormously. Let's watch and listen to Thomas.
Jeez, that doubling.
Time to meet your maker!
254 k's up Mountain Straight.
Yes!
Pump back the rack.
Just then.
Got 5 seconds. Clear to go on the drop at the moment. Still clear.
We just saw those onboard shots of Thomas Randall. I quizzed Paul Scalzo, who is head of engineering at Brad Jones Racing, about that pump and steering rack issue. He said, look, all the pressures look fine. Thomas is reporting that it's heavier turning left at the next stop.
Damn it.
See if there isn't an issue in there.
Tremendo! None of this!
Sorry.
Just to talk about roll bar settings and which way to wind the biases. And you see those right up on the right hand side of your picture, those little slots that you can see in the side window, they varied the size of those for car number 3, thinking that it might have helped them.
Warlord and Assassin and Emperor.
Distorts at high speed, and that may have helped. So initially they tried to tape those up, and that made it
I'm
worse.
convinced my last
So then
shin
they
does not
decided to actually
exist.
open them up,
For
regenerate,
Zhao.
and,
It's
clearly the
tilting me.
car number 3's got a unique problem with that.
Were you doing car driven talk at Regenerate?
Yeah. Red Bull Holden Racing Team, Jamie Wincup is on standby. His van.
Ooh. That's my whole life. Oh well. GG.
Has been. He was 8th fastest in the practice session.
We got probably one round left. Well, no, because the other guy is on fire, so that means he's winning.
That rogue cloud.
We got Big
Walk the
Chonker.
dog, so I'll be back. In a
Fair
little.
enough.
Eh.
I'll finish watching this game then.
Overcome that. If you're not sure what Mark's on about,
I need to actually make a work call, so I'll be right back too.
Weather. That's not unusual at Mount Panorama, and it just interrupted the last couple of minutes of qualifying. Spat some rain down and rained on his parade effectively. I've just heard Mirko de Rosa in the background saying we're doing a driver change for car number 99, so Anton's being queued to come in. That'll put Brody Kostecki in the car. He was pretty happy this morning as well. No complaints. Car was okay in the warm-up. No grizzles. Other than the fact that, again, there's been that question mark, and they can't figure out why as to what's going on from a straight line standpoint. Whether it's an install problem, whether it's a power issue, whether it's an aero issue, they haven't been able to get to the bottom of it. But all of the drivers in there were all talking about the same thing.
Roughly 3 to 4 tenths of a second is what they think they're losing.
But it can't be too bad when you're sitting third in the race.
Yeah.
So, you know, the results speak louder than anything else in this caper, and the lap speed's there at the moment. So Anton's in. So you don't want him to go short, but a bit long is okay when he pulls up. Trundling down the lane here with the pit lane limiter engaged. They put the line lock in as well so the wheels don't spin in the stop. 4 nice new or fresh Dunlop hard tyres going on. Anton De Pasquale leaps out. That's Brody Kostecki jumping in.
Feels weird at this place, doesn't it? Because it's so fast, and then you get down to 40k, you feel like you get out and walk alongside it when you're in the pit lane.
Just not, if you got me. You got me?
8 people permitted across the line.
Ready? Go, 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 go.
Use the driver assist, and nice job. Brody sneaks it out carefully. You've got to walk the cars out very gently. Slip the clutch, low percentage throttle, electronic control over the engine speed, so you can't give it too much throttle percentage or it starts to spin, cough. Sometimes you can even end up with an airbox fire.
It's running like the
In that
exact same
circumstance, that
comp.
can be concerning. So can that. A little bit of weather.
Slight differences.
Keep a really close eye on it. One thing that I've learned over a very
So I forgot Divine is the
early 80s is that what you read
the best thing to run right now.
So we'll see.
I've heard.
Skyline. So weather all around us. And will it impact or not? Yet to be known. I've got my resident weatherman alongside me. And there's Lowndes, who's made quite a lot of ground. Look at those numbers. Roughly 2 to 3 tenths of a second. Being able to gain on Warren Luff. These two guys are actually good mates. Luffy and Craig. And if you weren't with us yesterday, Craig Lowndes went so close to crashing the 1968 replica Monaro. It was very, very funny. He had a monster moment coming down the S's, locked the rear wheels right out sideways. We were laughing between us how close it was.
Both running Divine comps, and one of the guys gets sort of the Divine on his fucking the thing. That's funny. Does this guy just not have a Warwick? This guy does have a Warwick. Oh no, he has a work. I'm blind. I was watching Layson kick the Rift Herald just off the map.
143 laps remain in the great race at Mount Panorama. Scott McLaughlin's our leader now. He's got an 8.1 second cushion, and we're watching a driver change for the Truck Assist Mustang. Michael Crusoe out, Lee Holdsworth in. They've also brought the number 19 car of Alex Davison in, and the number 18 car of James Golding, sharing that with Mark Winterbottom. Team AD, the early racing entry. So there's the other 2 cars that I just referred to. So we've had.
He didn't put his Yone. He didn't even put his Yone next to, like, he didn't do the thing. Specifically, the thing that you do with your Yone.
If that stop happens for McLaughlin in the not too distant future,
He deserves to lose.
Then it's the most likely strategy, and here he is now coming in. So, and I think they put that to a pretty reasonable effect last year, didn't they? They came in these high teens in their first stop. So let's see what happens here, whether or not they can process this nice and efficiently. driver change on
Okay, looking for the red board and turning point, mate.
cue here.
You game ready?
The pit lane at
What's up?
Bathurst is the fact that that concrete surface is really slippery compared to the
Well,
other.
Josh is walking the dog. We're all.
You can see that Tim has got all of the
I thought you were about to say right now. I was about to shit myself. Like what?
up there. Couples his radio.
I was gonna be like, what?
Cool suit.
Look, I'm not good at.
She's got a seat insert to deal with here as well. Got a driver assist
there's
helmet.
limits. It's almost.
So throws the little dicky seat in and then try to put these belts on.
Oh, I mean, we could do baby time right now.
Masks, being able to see the seatbelt knuckle, and then you must
No, I
have
know.
those belts over the top of the hands to
I was saying like we could do. Do you want to do baby time while Josh is doing the dog equivalent of baby time?
And all sorted, fuel away. Chaz Mostert on the right-hand side of the screen, the Walkinshaw Andretti United entry for Mobile One Appliances online as well.
Getting close now, getting close. Be ready, be ready. Go, 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 go.
I was doing.
It all looked like it was pretty efficient as well. So nice work, and that sends Tim Slade out. So good opening stint for Dick Johnson Racing Team Penske. Should shout out to Ryan Story and Dick Johnson. Neither of them attending the race meeting this weekend. They're stranded because of the situation with travel, and it's the first time that we haven't seen DJ Dick Johnson here since ever, basically, from the time that he's been involved in the sport. It's 40 years for Dick Johnson Racing and 40 years since the Rock, so I'm sure he's at home and lapping up every minute of this. So we're missing you guys. Look forward to seeing you again soon.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more. Hey mate, how's the detail down here? Scott McLaughlin's pit bay just here, so we know how important it is. They stop bang on the mark. So Benny Croak stands at the front here with his little board for him to bang into. Look at that, I just noticed on the green. So there's on the ground. There's where Scotty stops. Look at that, about what? 300 mil, not even 250 mil. That's where Fabian stops. Just a little reference that those drivers have from height and eye line in the car to get them bang on the money. Love the detail.
Just on that topic of people missing in action, Mark, it's the first year that no member of the Richards family, both Jim and Stephen, good friends of ours, not been present on the grid. First time since 1974. That's going back a couple of years. So Jimmy will be watching, and Stephen, I know, has already sent a text this morning, and we're missing you, Richo, and he's had tremendous success here.
Brake pressure before you jump out. You'll be straight back. Brake you out. Thanks, Jordy. Remember the extra clutch. Got about 24 seconds left. Nice on the mark there.
Bounce out. Jump in.
14 more seconds. 10 more.
I like the method of the driver assist performing a bigger role.
4 more seconds. Just another you got us there.
You can't see the belt buckle.
Good to go, good to go.
Front
No
face
risk
of
on
the
exit.
helmet.
Watch the exit.
And in the heat of battle, it takes the stress away from the driver. So
Okay,
that's
ready,
clever
20,
from
gear,
Red Bull
ready to
Holden
go.
Racing Team.
So just a reminder that there are 8 people permitted to cross into the pit lane to work the car controller and air jack operator. There's a refueler. This has changed, of course, from the recent past because we've been doing no refueling at all. And then 5 other crew members, they're doing wheels and tyres. But to Mark's point, you can add a driver assist in there as well. We've separated out what used to be counted as the fireman, and that's helped that process. So we've got it's going to be roughly half the field now have taken their stop, and the leader in the queue of those that have is Tim Slade. Remember, when Scott peeled off, he had more than 8 seconds in hand in the lead. The other thing that's beginning to look apparent in our analysis as car number 6 comes in is pretty decent fuel mileage so far for Will Davison. Craig Lowndes did everything he could ask of in that first stint. He passed a car, had no trauma. Exactly the same thing for Will Davison. Nice, good, solid stint. Exactly what you want from an experienced race driver.
And that position change, we saw Whincup get on board 888 and go out in front of 25 of Mostert. So that's actually a position change in the pit stops.
I think I heard him say that Garth Tander GT stays in the car. That's Cam Waters. So Davison in, Tander in, Courtney in, Randall in. Now remember, Randall's got the question mark around the power steering as well, so the R&J batteries entry, they'll be looking at that. Nice job, James Courtney, in the opening stint. That's Brock Feeney now in. Meantime, at Castrol Racing, a chance to analyse what's going on with that clutch. You can hear a symphony of rattle guns in the background. Pretty busy little pit lane there at the moment. And out goes 97. And if what I heard was right, and I interpreted correctly, then Garth stayed in the car. Did you see the green light there?
Yeah, I think he did. So we're doing a on the run.
The Formula One pit videos are ridiculous.
So basically doing a similar thing to what you would see with a car with air in the system.
The fact that they have it down, like it's like an art form. It's like a performance. How in sync everybody
hydraulic
is.
issue. Is it a yes or a no? That's a no.
That was a no.
So it's not a hydraulic issue. So you have to be able to determine what the problem is, and that.
So he's starting it in gear,
yeah,
and he's going to try and wind it and fire it in gear. You're not allowed to push it.
Oh, easily.
It actually fired then too, and it's not kicking.
When you get in the garage, hop out of the car. When you get in the garage...
The Castrol car? Yeah, it's a clutch issue.
Go, Jacks. Get in the garage. Dale Wood's going to jump in this thing, and they'll investigate the clutch. And it couldn't do that all day long. So, I mean, that was so close to actually kicking then. It did fire, but it didn't have sufficient momentum to be able to get itself mobile. So it was the right thing to do, just to at least try that. So everybody can dive on it now that it's in the garage. And they're bringing car number 40 in now as well. This is the wildcard entry. Tyler Everingham is in the car at the moment. This is our race leader, effectively.
You'd almost be better off trying to start it at the back of the garage where it's flat, wouldn't you, rather than trying to wind it up the hill. I mean, it was almost a goer then. Yeah. It was very close.
Lit up, but not sufficiently.
Here we've got a little battle going on here, haven't we, with Boston versus Whincup.
So D'Alberto, Fiore, Goddard and Everingham in, and that completes the first round of stops for everybody with 139 laps remaining.
Yeah, it's when it starts becoming like a thing of strategy rather than skill.
That was up about 8.5 when they came in for the stop, so it's about a second has been eaten out of that gap in the lead.
And Brody Kostecki driving with Anton Di Pasquale. He's in third, just in front of Garth Tander.
He's got a few heavyweights around
But
him.
yeah, no, it definitely looks like at least some of the campgrounds.
Pressure out there at the moment. He's got Tim Slade in the lead of the race from Cam Waters now in car number 6. Brody Kostecki swapped over with Anton to be in position 3. Garth Tander stayed in the car in 97. Jamie Whincup has jumped in as Craig Lowndes got out. Chaz Mostert's in car number 25, and young Brock Feeney's in for James Courtney in 7th. Then Lee Holdsworth, James Moffat, Andre Heimgartner. So a real mix of primary and co-drivers out there at the moment. Be curious to see how this pans out. Chad?
Curious to see how Will Davison is feeling after his first stint today. In a word, how would you sum up life as a co-driver, Will?
Stressful, a little bit. Yeah, just you want to be fast and do the job. But yeah, it's the important stint for the day, and I was pretty nervous doing the start. I haven't done one in 6 months, and yeah, the clutch was a bit different to what I'm used to, so I was just relieved to get it off the line. It wasn't the best start, but it was safe.
The pace running with that 17 just yet?
Yeah, it was quick.
I can't say for like them themselves, but yeah, no, it wasn't. Even at its height, and when I was over there, I was in Queensland, which was by far the
tune it up to be a bit better over the stints as the day goes on.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Rick Kelly, just a nightmare way for you guys to start this race.
we were where I was like.
We rolled off the line for the start of the warm-up lap, and it was on the floor. Very different feeling. Obviously, there's always a lot of pressure there when you depress the clutch, and it was gone. I don't know. We've never had.
Did I cut out again?
It was a pretty nervous time on the grid because we just decided to try and start the race rather than pit. And weirdly, it actually got off the line okay. That was the third of the clutch is still working at that point, but it's just flopping around for the that last 2/3.
What?
And then throughout the laps, it wasn't that bad, and I started not using it down gears, which is not ideal, especially.
I'm not. I'm actually not. This is kind of hilarious.
Work the car down the hill rather than compression locking, trying to hit them toe more accurately.
Okay, let's try it for the fourth time. Okay, so Queensland, where I was the least hit state for COVID. Like, you know, so like it wasn't common where I was, but it didn't need to be at the same time.
Greg Lowndes, your opening stint at the 2020 Bathurst 1000 is done. Neil Crompton gave you a pretty good scorecard. What was your view on that run?
Well, to be honest, I was just lucky to get off the line because I don't. The 12 car in front, I don't know whether it stalled or it had a really bad start, and then I actually just sort of closed my eyes, went right. Wasn't sure who, the Percat car, whether he was there or not, but we managed to squeeze through turn one, settle down, and the car's working really well. As we got on and burned some fuel off, the car balance came to us, and then had a great battle there with Caruso, and then chased down my mate Luffy, but he got scared and came into the pits.
You did have that great battle with Caruso. Your car looks really strong on the brakes into turn one. Were you a bit hesitant into Murray's corner there? Is there a braking imbalance on the downhill run anyway?
Not really, no. I was just making sure that we didn't sort of bugger that corner up to get a run up into turn one, or if not, up into Mountain Straight. So I was really cautious to get Murray's right, to get Halden's corner better. So, Michael did a great job. I could see him working the rear tyre a lot, especially coming out of the cutting. And I radioed to the boys, he's working the tyres hard. It was just a matter of time, and look, it's great to be back in the car.
Strong opening stint. Thanks, Craig.
Cheers. Thanks, Neil.
Big smile on his face. Behind that big smile is a massively competitive guy, and 7 wins at this location. We know his prowess, and that was a nice stint. Good also, just when you've been out of the car for that long, it's good to just get it done and get out, have a drink, get a massage, a little bit to eat, get yourself organised for the next stint. Talk to the engineer about the car balance, what can be changed. A little mistake there. Car 2 just leading into Hell Corner and a little brake lock. And when he was trying to get it turned in there, Kirk Kostecki, it just ran wide. Now, D'Alberto, I think, has stayed on board car 12. Yes, he has. So that's Nick Percat now behind him. Nick Percat, unfortunately, went from doing an unbelievable job in the top 10 shootout yesterday. He drove so well. He was 4th fastest. And then a minor infringement. He was 2 kilos underweight with the cumulative weight of the driver in the car, and was penalised out of the top 10 and went to 10th. So he started today's race at the top 10. He's currently 12.
Hopefully.
Drove so well.
Hopefully, but it's just it's changing the attitudes behind it is going to be the real struggle.
And this place is such a difficult racetrack to get right, but it was, from Nick's career perspective, one of the best laps I've seen him put together.
It was an excellent performance, wasn't it? That weight you spoke about includes the driver when they weigh it, and the minimum weight for a supercar is 1,395 kilos. So pretty heavy devices, especially when they have got full fuel, which adds about 88 kilos. Just done some numbers in the background. This is a little battle, isn't it? So car number 19's got Jonathan Webber at the moment, a former race winner, and car number 18, James Golding, alongside him in a big drag race to the chase. Golding winds around the outside and gets that one done. It's been quick so far this weekend, James Golding. Good to have him back in the field. He formerly had a full-time drive with Gary Rogers Motorsport. He's been snapped up by Team 18 and Charlie Schwerkolt. So just revise some of the fuel numbers based on who's done what, Mark, and in simple language, not using kilos, but best we've seen is about 4 3/4 litres per lap for fuel. So probably a little bit more, which is typical of that first stint. And then when you stop and calculate that, cars are burning off about 3.6.
I think it's very telling that in the second outbreak we had here in New Zealand, the largest subcluster of it was a church, and they had a bereavement ceremony. So the shorthand, everybody just called it the bereavement ceremony cluster. But it turns out the church actually gets funded by a lot of Trump-supporting groups. So I think a lot of people found that very telling of the second outbreak over here.
Lost oil pressure earlier in the day, so that was a traumatic moment for them, and that stop didn't go quite to plan with the left rear. So Dean Fiore has stayed in that car. So they're double stinting him, and they're doing the same with Garth Tander. This second stint will be pretty good for Garth, no doubt, because when you back up for a second time with another set of tyres, invariably it's better. Margin at the moment between first and second is closing. Cam Waters 4.8 seconds behind Tim Slade. Cam's been in the race car all year and has already generated 8 podiums in 2020 Virgin Australia Supercar competition, including a victory at Tailem Bend. We're watching Dean Fiore, car number 20 for DeWalt, and Dean sitting in 14th position at the moment. Brody Kostecki's in 3rd place. Here he is. And he's got a little bit of pressure on him at the moment from Garth Tander. Vastly experienced Garth Tander, who's done a ridiculous number of races here, 21 of them in the past. It's yielded 3 victories for him.
Yeah, it's an interesting situation with the government, because this is the first time since changing over to the system, which was like 50 plus years ago. This is like they changed over to MMP like decades ago. This is the first time a government has been able to form from a single party.
1 in 6 climb right here, so using all of the torque of the 5-litre V8 engine. Looking at the right rear, so I beg your pardon, left rear corner of the Erebus car on the right-hand side of screen. And this is the headers damper by Supershock. Control item that was introduced in 2020 into supercars that made a pretty seismic shift to the balance of the field, of performance across the field. There's been quite a number of changes year on year to aerodynamics, to engines, and this is a big one to suspension. It's been a great story. A couple of Australian companies hooking up in Petters and Supershock to get together.
On the covered front, yes. Like there are some genuine criticisms that can be laboured at the current government, particularly like New Zealand isn't facing a very real housing crisis. Like the price, I'm going to put it this way: if you were to 10 years ago buy a house in Auckland, New Zealand's biggest city, the rate at that property has appreciated in value is literally higher than a surgeon, like a surgeon's yearly wage. Like, and I think there's a lot of like things about it, but like one of her big campaign things was trying to fix this issue, and nothing's really happened on that front. But at the same time, there is a big cultural aversion to building up in New Zealand. Like nobody wants skyscrapers or like large apartment blocks, but that's one of the solutions that needs to be explored.
Not a lot going on there in the gap between them.
No, but if you look probably right to the end of the braking area there, he has
snuck up,
made a little bit on him, hasn't he?
A bit of that was braking though, I think, as well. His chat again.
Michael Caruso's just jumped out of the truck assist car. He's grabbing a quick word with the engineer team, and in the background, the Boost Mobile team, James Courtney, has just handed over to Brock Feeney. Michael, nice first stint. Did everything go to plan there? We saw you fall back into the clutches of 888. Is speed okay today?
Yeah, it's also
a little bit different from the warm-up, but we think we know what it was.
It's just
so
weird.
Make a little adjustment and we'll set off.
How different?
Like,
sorry?
How different?
it's just the way, like the values that New Zealand has on a lot of things, especially with like to do with like outdoorness and like nature. It's kind of, I don't want to say it's like a backwards thinking that, you know, people want to explore, expand and suburbanize everything, but at the same time like value the greenery.
But no, you did really well. We had a few dramas in the warm-up.
Like it's a weird dichotomy that they want to like take away all this natural land to build suburbia, but because of like, you know, keeping the environment good. It's like kind of doesn't work that way.
This morning, just do exactly what you've done your whole career, mate, and enjoy it. So it's there's only one time it's your first, so it's going to be a pretty special day for it.
Thanks, James.
That's pretty funny. But the last thing you would be wanting to look out for or listen for when you drive a change when you're making it
Sam?
Bathurst 1000 is happy birthday.
Yes.
So,
Can I ask a question?
He turns 18 today. What a great moment for him. For his dad.
Yes, you may.
So in like New Zealand slash like the Australia, like that area, is it? I don't know if that's okay to say. Kind of like when you say like America, Canada is how I think of those two. But is there like, do you have to deal with the same kind of people like climate denier, those kind of things, or is it less of a thing there because you've got that big ass hole in your ozone?
Like there are definitely people that are very much in the denial camp.
Okay.
But it's not as ridiculous. It's more that there are people that say like it's overblown more than it doesn't exist.
It's only 3.5 seconds now up the road to Slade. So you reported about.
But I think it's just because of like where we are in the world. New Zealand and Australia, we have a lot of people from a lot of like the smaller Pacific Islands. So it's a more real threat when we have people here that are like, my homeland is literally shrinking as the sea levels rise.
Yeah.
Or like another one that's hitting close to home right now is the fishing season this year is all out of whack because the water temperature's slightly different, so the fish are doing different things at the moment than they normally do.
Disease has continued. This is cool. The BP Ultimate Fuel Strategy shows where everybody's at. And,
Is fishing like the big export of of New Zealand? I assume with all the water.
Not really. It's more like a very like I live in a fishing town where it's more like not like a commercial fishing town, but like a significant amount of the population here fish personally.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Nice maneuver. Quasi.
like every third household sort of thing like has a boat that they go out and fish. Like the idea of going out and fishing to like get yourself food like is very much a thing here.
Ah, okay.
Better off following an experienced guy like James Moffat for the better part of this stint. Better than trying to stay in front.
I've been having a very, very, very long argument, like a year-long argument. Pat, as you know, we do our yearly princess thing that he did not get this year, and he's been quite the handful with it. And I explained to him once that I would never go on a cruise. I can't. I won't. It's floating shit. I'm not doing it. But he loves the idea. So we've been kind of having. No, I mean like in general. I will never step foot on one of those.
Textbook maneuver. Gee, James come from a long way back, but also.
Oh no, he doesn't. He's super paranoid about getting it. He's just been sulking, couldn't go on vacation and have his big hot tub and his, like he likes to do his Royal Highness stuff. And he was saying, oh, like once everything's done, if I didn't spend all this money next year, I can do a little bigger. Like I should go on a cruise. I'm like, fuck no, fucking. No way in hell. You have to take Keith on that one and do princess time with him.
So it looks like it's a little bit oversteery, but certainly there you go. There's the
what,
engine.
Kelly's M&Ms?
So
okay, Kelly's has a baggie of M&Ms now.
Gain with the toe, Lucko.
Scotty McLaughlin, we had a little chat on the front of the grid there, mate. You were keen to get your nose in front as you did. That was very important as we're seeing.
Do you have like
second league before you came in?
Yeah, just it's nice for a coach.
Do you have like super religious people there, Sam?
Get acquainted with the car and
like I don't want to say that in a mean way, but you know what I mean. Like our kind of.
We gave him an opportunity to get used to the car.
There are definitely like small pockets of them, but nowhere to the extent of America.
Okay. Sorry, I was trying to think of a very nice way to put it.
Like, we don't have a mega church in the country.
Ah.
But there are definitely some churches that would like to, if they could get popular enough, but they can't.
Ah. Sorry. It's currently 40 days of life, so I'm a little exhausted. I tried very hard to be, like, nice and... But this time of year is a little rougher.
Todd Kelly, unfortunately, this clutch issue has turned into something bigger than the initial thoughts. Quite a big change happening at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, it's heartbreaking for the guys to have that happen at the start. The clutch failed on the warm-up lap for Rick, so we did everything we could to eliminate some of the issues that could have been. Unfortunately, it looks like
Yeah, I think, like, in general, like, there are definitely, like, religions in New Zealand, and, like, Christianity is obviously the most popular. But, like, at the same time, for one bit, the religion of being a Jedi was officially recognized by New Zealand because enough people wrote in on one of the censuses that they were a Jedi as their religion.
I hate to say it, but they just need to go out and have a good time. It's pretty much all we can do now.
So, but, like, it's not like a, you know, like, there are, like, I know plenty of people that are practicing Christians, but it's not as key to their identity as it seems like it is from, like, watching American media.
I will say that, like, a lot... I also have, like, a lot of... Our chief of medicine, Dr. Wallen, is Christian. Which, you know, most people would be like, that doesn't make sense, because, you know, you're an abortion place. But, like, you know, there's a lot of not... Like, Christianity's not... Here isn't just what you... The extremists are a minority, but a very vocal minority.
And Whincup. Jamie's sitting in 5th position at the moment. So this little battle here, this is a beauty. So
they are absolutely...
up onto the back of all this.
I'm really very, very tired of being screamed at from my car. Going into the health centers to take care of stuff.
This is a bit of
But
a resumption of play between Jamie Whincup and Chaz Mostert of what we would call normal activity, what's been going on week to
Like, I mean, there are definitely, like, religious nut jobs in this country. Like,
Oh, yeah,
there
I'm
was
sure
a
they're
party
everywhere.
that... There was a party in the election, the New Conservatives, that polled about 2% or 1 point something. It was between 1 and 2%. Like, they had unfortunately had a significant number of votes for how insane some of their policies were. But, like, some of their policies were like, single parents should move in with good Christian couples so that the children can have a good role model growing up.
What? What?
Yeah, no, that was legitimately a policy of one of the parties in this country. Like, we're not... New Zealand is not a, like, utopia. We have some real shitty people here, too.
I mean, I guess that makes me feel a little better.
They're a polycarbonate screen. They're worth about $5,000, and they protect them with tear-offs. Like, oh, here we go, down the inside. Does he get that done?
I remember someone recently talking about the idea of at the household votes for, like, the husband should get to decide how people... I'm like, what the... That boggles my mind that people would... Like, women would be okay with that idea.
Brody's doing a big job here to try and keep a couple of heavy
Indoctrination is one hell of a drug.
So Whincup had to jink left and right there, but the direction change at high speed is hard to pull off without locking a brake and damaging a tyre. Now they'll have another crack at him when they get to the end of Mountain Straight. So Whincup flagging that he won't patiently just sit by here and stick under the rear wing of the Penrite car.
Yeah, he was aggressive. He probably needed to just park it and fire down the inside at the chase,
Ooh.
meaning not to actually have a go at the right-hander.
We've got our first car just out of the race, I think.
Oh no! I'm downstairs feeding the cat! I'm missing it.
Does he let Jamie go by? Yes, he... Oh no, he doesn't!
Oh yeah, we're behind Sam.
Yeah.
That's over.
Yeah.
Oh, the Red Bull!
It's Lounsey and Win Cup. Yeah.
I stood back when I saw it and waved my hands because outside on the approach.
Did it crash or did it just kind of like flutter? Oh!
Not bad.
Yeah. Like the safety car is coming out. Like that needs to be loaded onto the back of a truck.
Yeah.
Sad.
He will be filthy.
Now that
Yep. Yeah.
lost it up a spot as well. This could trigger some activity.
That is a big,
Now, do they take it?
big.
Wonder how many will take the opportunity. Looking at the pit
That her
lane, they're
ball.
lining up. It looks like lots of people are going to take
That
it.
a ball, Mochi?
So
Thank
there's the stricken 888 car, Red Bull Holden Racing Team entry of Jamie Whincup. Vast experience.
Mochi, get it away from the stove.
Pull a move round the outside of turn 3, and that was
Also
a
I'm
very
back, by the
difficult
way.
place to do it.
Oh,
because it's
okay,
dirty,
we're almost done with
cameras away
baby
from
time.
you.
It's fine.
And
I'm
we've seen
having a
many
snack.
driver over years
Mochi's
go
having a
by,
snack.
Make a mistake and whack the wall there. And this is going to be quite a significant delay to recover that car and get it onto the Hino truck and out of there.
Yeah, it's your treat.
And that puts them out of the team's championship in terms of winning.
Changes the spectrum of the second position in the Drivers' Championship as well, unless something happens to car 6.
Yeah, girl.
Third, Jamie the second in the
Alright, you want your
championship.
ball?
So that black car in the background's now in the box seat to move another position up in the championship. So team's championship now secured
Yep.
by Dick Johnson Racing
Yeah.
Team Penske. And likely that we're going to see a change for the runner-up position in the championship.
No. Overtaking is strictly prohibited.
Does it count as a lap still?
Yes.
Oh,
Any laps they do count towards the total distance race.
is that?
Alberto Percat doing there's a pads there on the Walkinshaw Andretti United car as well. That's a big moment in our race today, folks.
There have been races that have, like if somebody's crashed with like 3 laps to go, like there have been races that have ended like 3 laps early because it took them so long to clear out the track that the safety car's still out in force.
This car had a question mark around the power steering. I haven't heard an update on that.
Of course, even though they're in the safety zone, these pit stops are still really hard.
Driver change here.
Yeah,
It's really
well, this is
easy
the
to do
one
things
place that
wrong and get time penalties
Yeah.
and stuff, right?
Yeah, but this is also the one place where they can maybe gain a position or two. If 2 of them come in, if they come in right behind a car, but they finish the pit stop before them.
As soon as I saw that on the outside on the run to turn 3, it was like, whoa,
That is just yeah.
operation.
So if anything, this is like where the pressure is highest for the pit crew.
Jumped car 17, so that's a position change. What it requires is if you are on the outside, you have to be super
We're
committed
like
to get
30 something.
around
Is that
there.
too early for
And it
driver
also
changes?
requires the person on the inside not to give you a bump, which is the Murphy Ambrose
Okay.
scenario.
I don't know how often
Yeah,
they
there's
change
been a few
on
changes.
this. Okay.
At least one car. Yeah, there's a minimum. I think they have to minimum change 3 times, and the second driver has to do a minimum amount of driving.
I can't believe that was driver error. This guy's super experienced, but he must have just slid.
Look at that. Oh. Now, I tell you, it was lucky that the other 2 didn't somehow get tangled up in a ricochet moment there as well, and it comes to a grinding halt right.
Looks like he lost control of the back end.
Riding with Chaz Mostert for Mobile One Appliances Online. Brody got a pretty ordinary run out of there, and Jamie would have been hoping to be able to step down in front of him. It's just too wide. He just carried too much pace.
He was trying to pass.
He'll look at that when he gets home. This is...
I mean, he controlled the crash good. Didn't get in other people's way, which is always nice.
And go, I could have been able to close down just that little bit more, but the woulda, coulda, shouldas in motorsport. It's a pretty long toilet roll list, that one. So Whincup out of the game. Really frustrated with himself. 129 laps to go in the race when that happens. So 0.9 of a second is the gap between Waters and Slade as they now crunched down. Now, the reason I mention it is because they'll be line astern. So all that margin that we've been talking about disappeared, and it's flipped around. So Waters over Slade, 1 and 2. It's going to get really interesting on this restart.
Yeah, well, a lot of disappointed people, me included, mate, because we were so keen. Great stint by you earlier, but what's your take on that? I mean, that was, by any measure, mate, it was a blue.
Oh, look, it's one of those places. This place, you got to have respect for. If it doesn't, it bites you. And we've all made mistakes here. It is a shame. The car was working extremely well. That first stint of mine, we just had to make sure we looked after the tyre. I harassed the buggery out of Caruso, and as I am, and of course, look, Jamie was in for a stint and a half, and it is difficult because you obviously want to get around cars, and as soon as you're about a half a car length wide going into that cutting, it's it's all obviously dirty there, and something you'll